Hey guys, it's Jules with DIY with Jules, and welcome back to my channel. So this is my mother-in-law's porch, and she asked me to spruce it up for her. As you can see, the weeds are overgrown. Her chair and table are a little old and worn out, and she asked me to give it a nice touch-up. So, without any further ado, let's get started. And like with any project, the first thing you do is give it a good cleaning. You remove every item that's on the porch and you go from there. Once we removed the overgrown weed, we decided to add a few paver stones in order to make the porch a little wider. My husband will be working on that because you guys know, ooh, my back, as you can see there. So I started on the chairs. I removed all of the screws and took the chair apart. I went to Joann's and got some fabric, some really pretty fabric. It was on sale, and decided to cover them up. Instead of replacing the chairs, we just reupholstered them and painted the frame. Now that both chairs are taken apart, let's get on with upholstering. I chose this awesome felt material. It's gray with white design, and I used that to cover the chair. We cut the piece, measured it with the actual chair, cut around it, and used a staple gun and went right over the existing material that they had there, went all the way around and covered it. Easy peasy. The material is felt, so we used Scotch Guard to spray over it. I know that, that's not an outdoor material, but because my mother-in-law is on a budget, we tried to do this as budget friendly as possible. So we sprayed it with Scotch Guard. It is going to be under a porch and it's not going to be getting wet so much, but we do know that Florida weather can get really crazy. So we covered it up with Scotch Guard so that it will protect the material. One thing I will tell you is that make sure that you find where the holes are for your screws and mark it with a pen or a marker so that you can actually make a hole in the material, because if you try to put your screws in with the material intact, it's only going to rip up the material. And this is your finished bottom. It's absolutely beautiful. It looks like the chair was actually bought that way. Now paint your frame and start putting it back together. Now that the chairs are all put together and upholstered, I went on to painting the wood. I gave it a good sanding, and my mother-in-law chose gray and white for the table. So we did the bottom in the gray and we did the top in white. So for this next project, I used these Dollar Tree fences, and I planned on using 6 for each trussel and ended up using 4. I found that 4 was enough, and then I used one of them to create a top section. What I did basically is I took 2 and I zip tied them together. I cut the bottom of one of the fence, the little spokes that go in the ground. I cut 3 of those off and left the other ones so that I can use them to connect the fences together with the zip tie. Then I went on and cut one of the fence in half and cut the inside of the fence. As you can see, here is the design on the inside. I cut 2 pieces out, put 1 on each side, and I left the 2 intact in the center. I also purchased some long ivy garland, and I hung it on the trestle once it was on the wall. And once it was all done, I went on to paint it silver. Okay, so for the next project, I went to Dollar Tree and we picked up this awesome wreath and picked up some Dollar Tree spring flowers. And of course, it's the Easter season and they had some beautiful signs. So I picked up a sign that said Welcome Spring. I added it to the top and it actually looks so adorable. So for the next project, I used this piece of wood that I picked up at Lowe's, and I just made a beautiful welcome sign. I picked up some sticker flowers from the Dollar Tree, and I added to the sign. Isn't that awesome? For the finishing touches, I grabbed two of these beautiful little bunnies from the Dollar Tree. They're so adorable. They are a foam, and on the bottom I added two skewers in order to stick them inside of one of her planters. I also got a bucket that she had full of pine cones. I painted the bucket in a green, in a very light green color, and I painted some of the pine cones in the colors of the flowers. I also grabbed one of her tall planters and I painted it in a raspberry color, and I added some Dollar Tree flowers and plants, and I went on to putting the front porch back together. We put up the trellises and I think they look absolutely beautiful. Let me know down below what you think. I got this beautiful spring color indoor outdoor rug. I put it outside and then I started putting everything out. Now I played with it, put the flowers, and I put the plants, and I put the sign, and I moved it around a couple of times until I found the perfect spot. And this is what it looks like. Now my mother-in-law's porch is absolutely beautiful. It is comfortable. It is inviting. We have a comfortable and clean area to sit in now. And once my husband does his part, then this section over here will be getting done. He's going to be putting some more stones or pavers down, and we're going to extend the porch. But it is absolutely beautiful, guys. Once again, thank you guys for coming to my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload the video. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.